Everything is going to be okay. A phrase we have heard more than a dozen times in the last few months. We have been hit with one of the biggest challenges any of us have ever faced: sitting at home. Activities have come to a halt. No movies, no dates, no fast food, no gatherings, and no long drives to nowhere. We're sitting at home, watching, waiting, and hoping that our faith comes through for us. While some of us feel like we've been grounded by our parents, some of us are taking this time to spend as much time as we can with our loved ones and build ourselves. This pandemic has hit at the perfect time, just as you were getting your life together, just as you had these big plans, just as you were moving at your pace and in your direction. Maybe she didn't want you to move. Maybe you weren't moving in the right direction. Maybe this is time to stop and ask yourself, what am I doing? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Sometimes you need to let go of the plans you have for your life in order for you to live the life that is meant for you. This pandemic isn't a mistake, but she is a force to be reckoned with. Sit back and enjoy every moment. Forget how fast life used to be, or how fast great moments used to go by. Sit outside, enjoy the peace. Listen to the birds chirping. Stargaze in your backyard. Enjoy the little moments that make your heart feel at peace. Because before you know it, those game nights, those late night texts, and the arguments with your siblings will be nothing but a distant memory. Cry, scream, forget the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the cancer scares, the car crashes, the breakups. Forget that you once couldn't move because you thought your life was over. Stop. Look around. Everything is stopped. It's not just about you anymore. It's not just about you needing someone. Now everyone needs you. The world really has come to a standstill. That thing that you've always wanted to do it. That girl that makes you feel like your heart is skipping a beat, and you might want to propose to her, do it. That job that you've always wanted to apply for, but you were afraid that you might lose everything, apply for it. Don't get used to her being around. She will leave, and life will go back to normal. And don't stop on her account. She isn't here to stay. She's passing by. But while we wait, don't forget to stop. Don't forget to stop holding your breath and breathe. Don't forget that you still wake up every morning. You still see your family, your friends, and everything still looks normal outside. Breathe. We will move soon. Thank you.
Welcome to Youthfest 2020, guys. A very big thank you to our poet Unadinna. I am your host, Sulu, coming live from Pretoria. I would like to thank the Apostle for giving us this opportunity as youth, and I would also like to thank our partners for welcoming us into your home and across the globe. Please do not worry, do not stress. This will be a very lit program, a lit event. Please do connect with us by posting your questions on Facebook or right here on Zoom. According to Oxford Dictionary, spirituality is defined as the quality of being concerned with the spirit as opposed to material things. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome Apostle, spiritual protege, in discussing spirituality. Welcome, Ausroda. Welcome, Ausbitatelo.
Hello, Titulu.
Hi, prayer partner. Hello.
How are you doing this evening?
We are blessed. We are blessed beyond measure. And how are you and the prayer
Now I'm
partner?
excited. We're excited for the show.
Oh,
We
yes.
are excited to be in this place. It's gonna be lit.
It's going to be lit. Our lives will never be the same. On that note, guys, what's your take on spirituality, Ausroda?
Spirituality, as you explained it on your dictionary, my take on it is more of a platform in my life. Before I can start with anything, I have to do a recheck with spirituality. It's where I refer to whenever I go through things in life. What is my spirituality saying about this? It is a very strong and basic aspect in my life. That's how I see and that's how I view spirituality.
Oh, yes, thank you. And also, Patelo, what's your take on spirituality?
Thank you so much, Titulu. Yes, and greetings to everyone on social media. Greetings to everyone with us here on Zoom. My take on spirituality is about me as an individual.
Oh, yes.
Spirituality for me is an individual adventure. No one can be spiritual for me, but I can be spiritual for myself. It is an inner process. It is a relationship that an individual has with something that is greater than them, something that is a higher power. It is knowing who you are and what your purpose in life is. It is knowing what makes you stand out as an individual. It is believing that you were created for a purpose and knowing that you have a creator, someone who has power over your life, someone who has power over everything, which in our instance, that someone would be God. That is what it is to me.
That's really powerful. One of these days, I have been asked some question, and they said, I told Marawena, but what's the point of spirituality? Why we are both? Spirituality, does it define you? What does spirituality does for you? Also, Rhoda, what's your take on the point of spirituality?
It is that one thing that now activates that inner gift that God has given to you, that we cannot realize it until you give your spirituality that much power. It is that special purpose that you have, that special gift that God has given unto you, and it can only be revealed through your spirituality. So yes, it is very important for you to know where you stand with your spirituality, because that is the only way you're going to be able to find your purpose. Remember what the apostle usually say, that there are two important days in your life: the day you were born and the day that you found your purpose. And the day you find your purpose is going to have that stronger connection with your spirituality.
Oh yes, outside there Antibati akuvumi magithule.
Yes.
Oh, already we have a question from Zoom platform. The question is for you, Ausbi Taitendo. The question says, would you agree with other youth, with other young people saying spirituality and religion is the same?
No, absolutely not. Spirituality and religion are different.
Oh yes.
Because spirituality is more of an individual thing, but religion is about ethics. Religion is about what is right and what is wrong. But spirituality is about you as an individual, who you are. We see the Bible. I have been created for a purpose, and I am here to manifest that purpose of God. When you are a spiritual person, remember, we are created in the likeness and image of God. God is a spirit. So we are spiritual beings. So when you connect with God on a spiritual level, the way you see things starts to differ, in the sense that the world starts to unfold in a different way. You start to understand things not just on a surface, but you see beneath what the eye sees.
You start having your spiritual eyes open. You start being in control of your life. You start knowing that there are other things that spirituality gives you meaning of life, and religion just gives you direction for it. You wake up in the morning, this is what you do. It's a day, it's a Monday, you go to work. There's a difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality, it activates every aspect of your life. It activates your spiritual life, your mental life, your psychology, your physical life. Spirituality is not just something that is within. It also affects everything that is around you. When you are a spiritual person, let me come to a level of two. If you and I were friends, and I wasn't into so much spirituality, but when I get into the spiritual realm, I start seeing things about you differently. I don't just see you as a pitolo. I start connecting. When you get sick, I can connect with yo to look. Yo, you got headache, bro.
That's really powerful.
Yeah, that is what spirituality is. But religion is just that is why we always say Karana's Apostolic Church isn't a church exactly. It is a spiritual school because it teaches you about you as an individual. What are your capabilities? Who are you? How do you relate to God? That is what spirituality is. Religion just says, this is a sin, this is wrong, this is right. But when you are a spiritual person, remember, spirituality has got fruits. You have access to the fruits of the Spirit. Yeah.
I am what God says I am. I have what God says I have.
Yeah.
But in the end, we must also remember that spirituality and religion, they interlink.
Yeah.
Without spirituality, there is no religion. Without religion, there is no spirituality. Oh, we have another question from Zoom. It says, Ausroda, would you agree with the notion that spirituality is for old people?
Definitely not. Definitely not. If we look at the examples of prophets and apostles that were groomed spiritually, the likes of Abu David in Bible, they were groomed at very early age, whereby you still have your whole energy. You are able, you are powerful, you are dynamic. Those are what the apostle instilling in our lives. At a very young age, that is where you can run with the word. You can see clearly. You've got the power to just take it over and do whatever it is that you want. And taking it away from our spiritual wishes. You know, when you were a child, to the rules that you are given to by your parents, to the rules that you are given to by your fathers and your mothers. I mean, people that are grooming you in church. In with us is the apostle. He's our father. As a child, we need him to hold up. I love the hymn that says, "Nkosi ngiphe ukuhlakanipha ngiqaphele imiyalo yakho." This is saying, Modimo mphe botlhale ke utlwelle ditaelo tsa hao. As a child, it is very simple how motho o moholo o jwetsa hore this is wrong, this is right, because you are a child, you are still adjusting to this world. Isizulu sithi indlela ibuzwa kubadala. Thina with us abadala ke moprofeta wa rena. As children, we abide to the laws that he gives to us. So as early childhood as we could start, we could be prophets. And he is always encouraging us to prophesy in our lives because we are dynamic, we have the power, and we are very conscious to the word that is under his word. We are under his word, we abide to the laws that he gives to us. So don't wait until you're 50 or 60 and say that now I can start my spirituality. It reminds me of another hymn is saying, it helps to know God as young as you still are because now you're growing, having instilled these principles of spirituality in your life. And when you're older now, it doesn't make things difficult for you to dwell on them, to actually approach things in life because you were taught at an early age that these things are going to come in your life. the scriptures that we read about in the Bible, where God has been holding his children's hands, they are bigger than even the dynamic that we see today. People have been through worse. And when you know God has been there holding their hands, what is this? What is coronavirus? God has put his children through even bigger troubles, even deeper hard situations than this one. So you will know that ukumazi usesebusheni bakho, it is actually a blessing to know God in the time of your youth, not when you're older.
Also, let me cut in there. I do understand where they come from or their point of view. As we look at our churches and many churches out there, or the most religious people, are old people. We young people are sitting there at the corners. We are singing. We are doing whatever we are looking for. We are passing by. Don't you agree with that? Do we need to be more spiritual than even?
How fortunate are we as the timeless apostolic youth? This is our program. Our apostle has said, so maybe you should come to this church. Maybe this is where you belong. Whereby your apostle is saying, I'm giving you the platform to be yourself, to tell me spirituality the way you understand it as young people. Yes, we go to them, we refer to them, we ask guidance from them, but we also have our own perspective. So how fortunate are we for us to be given such a platform, Abuditulu? This is actually a spiritual gift church. It is not a church, it is a school that teaches us and that allow us to express ourselves.
Oh, yes. If there is anyone out there on Zoom who has a testimony, please raise your hand and we'll identify you to give us a testimony regarding spirituality. Oh, I see many hands. I see many hands. Oh, Masikrini from GP, I see you. Do you have anything to say to us?
Wow, Tulu, what a powerful platform that we're in, eh? I must say, the topic that you guys are having is so on point. And I must say that I can relate to what you're saying. Spirituality is very important. Your relationship with God is very important. And I can testify that because I myself have such a bond with God, and I made sure that my relationship with God, no one sabotaged it. As young people, I heard also Rhoda saying that it's better to start at a young age. And I would agree with that. Because when I remember, when I was 19, after matric, I remember that I had applied for university. I applied to study civil engineering. And I was rejected. I was rejected because my marks were low. But because I had a spiritual bond with God, he said to me, he whispered, to me that go out there and do not quit. I had to go and upgrade my marks. Imagine, after matric, everyone is going to hospital. I had to go upgrade my marks. But after that, what happened is when I was upgrading my marks, I was also upgrading my spirituality. I spoke to God. I meditated each and every single time. Each and every single time in which we pray, I made sure that I was always deep into prayer. Then I applied the following year for civil engineering and I was accepted. I cheered and thank you so much, God, because I had faith in you. This is what's happening to me. And right there in university, university, I don't have a bursary. Imagine, I'm studying. But because I had this bond with God, I told God, you know what? I put my faith in you. I will work hard. I shall not worry. How will the finance cover my fees? And I spoke those words. And right there with this whole, in the midst, I remember I got a call that my skin ended. You've been awarded a bursary, not only a bursary, from the Premier, Office of the Premier of Northwest.
Wow.
Imagine. Wow. And I thank God. And one of the things I would do right there in university, I made sure that I don't change. You need to have that connection. When I engage with people, when I met new people, I did not change who I am. I stayed in my lane because I knew who I was. I am what God says I am. I have what God says I have. And I can do what God says I can do. When I was there, when I got in university, not only was I a student, I was a top student. Not because I was smart, but because God gave me the wisdom.
Oh, yes.
And when I was doing my final year with Youthfest, when you speak about spirituality, to have a bond with God, my final year, when I was writing my final exam, I got 3 calls from different companies. I did not even apply a Youthfest. 3 companies, they called me. Because I had this bond with God, I had to choose where I'm going to work. And at that age, I was 22 years old. Because I started at a young age, I could achieve what people achieve at the years of 30 years. Because I started at a young age of this world. Hence, when you say spirituality is for all the people, no. The earlier you start, the more advanced you will be, the more growth it will be. Spirituality also goes with hard work. You as an individual have to put in hard work. I'm reminded by a scripture with this one. It says in the book of 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 11. It says, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. You mind your own business and work with your hands.
Yes.
Just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of others, and so that you may not depend on other people. What it's saying is hustle silently and let your success make noise.
What's our daily side?
Hustle silently, and let your success make noise.
Oh yeah.
That's the revelation that I got. Work hard.
Oh yeah.
Be spirituality, but also let your spirituality and you working on it, let there be an equilibrium. Don't be spirituality at home. Be spiritual wise. Be spiritual wise. Be book wise. And be street wise.
Oh, yes.
Those are the best combination in this world.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Masikwini, for the powerful testimony.
Wow.
We have a question from Facebook, Tidin Zimande. She's asking that how can one remain spiritually inclined in these times of distress? How can you explain it to her as Bikatero?
In this difficult time of distress, oh wow, that's a very good question. I'm reminded of the scripture of John chapter 15, verse 4 and verse 5. It talks about abiding in God. So, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, thank you. It says, abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. Verse 5 of it says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he is that bears much fruit. You don't just bear fruit, you bear much fruit. For apart from me, you cannot do anything.
Amen.
This is a very powerful scripture. It is from the scripture that we learn, boy. Abide. If I had to translate it to my language, it will dula honna. Dula honna ki emudimo. Le nna ke dule ho wena. Ha o dutse honna, o tshwana le lekala. Like a tree, the branches of a tree cannot produce peaches unless its roots did well like it. So
Yes.
when God is inside you and you go deeper into the spiritual connection with God, you get to bear much fruit, regardless of any situation. You see, that is the powerful thing about a spiritual life. When you are in a spiritual life, you focus in the present. You are not worried. You forget the regrets of the past. You are not worried about the future. You focus in the present because you know who I abiding has promised me that I can do something. I have access to much fruit. Whatever I do, before I give a fruitful, regardless of the circumstances. I can assure you, a lot of spiritual people during this time, if they were not spiritual or if they do not have the faith that they have in God, they will tell you, if it had not been for the Lord, I don't know where I would be. Because it is through Him that I can face any challenge and know that I am a warrior. Yeah, full like those. Even in this pandemic, abide in God. Abide in God and get access to all those foods so that you will be fruitful.
Can I take it over there, Abututsulu,
Mm.
to say that also how do you maintain what else Tatelo has just spoken about? Because we are in a pandemic whereby a lot of us we are surrounded by a lot of negativity. So I can say to the question that has been asked, avoid surrounding yourself with negative thoughts and negative opinions because there are a lot of them going around. Oh, hey, after Bukibona, do away with doubt, do away with worry. How do you do that now? We've got a very powerful platform right here on Facebook where this is coming from. Ndate is always there during the day, at night, even midnight. He is there. Meditate, dwell in the Word. Give yourself time for any other thing, not anything, but to say right now, this is time for me to connect with my God. I will not entertain worry. I will not entertain doubt. Instead, this is giving me time to see things in a very different way, in a way that other people don't see it in.
Yeah.
Oh, Nayomre Ishile, I can really understand what you are saying. We have another slot for a testimony. Anyone with a testimony, raise up your hand so that we can identify you. Oh, I see Austumi from GP. Austumi,
Hi, Abdullah, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you.
I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. You know what's my concern about us young people is we take spiritually like we take spiritual things for granted and we're very stubborn.
Mm.
First of all, as young people, we hang around with a lot of, should I say, a crowd, and you're not gonna find your calling if you are around a crowd. First of all, spirituality, it connects with a calling and your gift as well. Before you can have religion, and you need somebody who's gonna guide you as well. So spirituality and the calling is gonna lead you to your blessings. But you will never find that when you're in a crowd.
Mm.
I, for one, in this pandemic, I'm one of the people that long I ignored my calling and I ignored my spirituality. And I thought I'm just a normal person. And trust me, the lockdown, it hit me so hard and I needed guidance. So what I'd like to say is we must just stop being ignorant as young people because re already blessings and take a very long time to get where we wanna be. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, so I think like we should like be more rooted in who we are and not forget to get into alignment always.
Yes. Do you have another testimony for us? What
Okay,
has God been for you in this lockdown?
okay, my testimony is okay, I went through a very difficult time, eh? And
Yes.
then it happened during this lockdown. So when it happened, like as I said, I needed guidance. So I had to talk to Ntate because I was falling apart. I didn't know what to do, and as a young person, I might find myself doing a lot of mistakes. So the only thing that he told me about was my gift. That your gift is gonna mess up a lot of things because you're not using it. And trust me, I did what he said, which is prayer, and it opened something that left everybody shocked. I bought myself a new car in this
Oh, yes.
lockdown. Like everybody's so shocked. How did I make it?
Because now we are all locked in and we are locked out the new car.
You know, like my mom was, she can't even sleep today. She says she still can't believe it because she thinks I'm still picking up the pieces from what happened.
Oh, I see the car with a boom, boom. Oh my goodness.
So we need to stop being ignorant as young people
Yes.
because we're gonna miss out a lot of opportunities.
Oh, very powerful testimony. I see Osman Tolo has raised up her hand. Do you have any question for us, Osman Tolo?
Well, thank you so much, Abuji Sodo. I just saw a question right now when I'm going through the WhatsApp messages on 08344918858. And there's a question that says, what is the spiritual gift that one can have? I don't know if you might have an answer or your panel might have an answer for that. Thank you.
Oh, yes. For me, I would say, love is the greatest spiritual gift of them all. You love yourself like love your neighbor like you love yourself. You cannot be spiritual without love. Honestly, Tatel, what's your take on that question?
That's a very powerful question. Now I think it would be the nine spiritual fruits of the spirit. Goodness, kindness, faithfulness, and the most important one would be self-control.
Yeah.
Self-control. When you have self-control, you are very aware of what is happening around you, and you are aware of it. You can control yourself. You can control your anger. You can control lust. You can control greed, jealousy. Sometimes when you're not a spiritual person, you find you become when you're supposed to when you envy someone, you end up being jealous just because you're not a spiritual person. But when you have connected with God on a spiritual level, like when our student is giving her testimony, you were like, wow, that is amazing. One day it will be me. This is her day. I'm going to congratulate her. You don't say, congratulate you. What's a little good? Or what? You celebrate people or what? And you become in control of one. And I'm in control just as my father is in control of my life.
Rhoda, over to you.
Forgiveness.
Oh,
Yeah. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself first and foremost.
Yes.
For the things that you have done in your past, forgive yourself to be able to move on. When people hurt you, forgive immediately. Don't wait for them to come and say, forgive me. I love it when it says, if you can move with that line everywhere you go, you at peace in your mind. You forgive them, and trust me, you will be at peace, and now you will be aligned with your spirituality. You will see what you are supposed to see, because grudges what is there beyond you. So once you forgive, you focus on the next step. It happens, you forgive, you move on, focus on the next step. That's my take on the question.
Oh, yes. Oh, I almost forgot everyone. Please get your candles ready. It's about to get lit into this service. Get your candles ready. Get them ready.
Kanya.
Is your candle ready, Ausroda? Is your candle ready, Ausvitadeno?
My candle is ready. My candle is ready.
Ready.
My candle is ready.
Aye, our lights, we shall shine like never before.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, there's another question from Zoom. It says, does spirituality makes you happy? I don't know. My side, I don't know. What about you, Ausroda? Does it make you happy?
It fills me with so much joy. It's what I've just said right now. That when the world sees things in a good way, you always see the bright side, right? Your spirituality is cooler boys. It
It's
just
like
comes
circle
and
life.
don't focus on the dark. Can you see this little light thing? And your spirituality activates and connects to it. And you see things different. You're like, oh, so this was supposed to be lemon. My lemonade tiki area thing in lemonade. Oh,
Yes.
it gives you so much joy that you even ask yourself, why am I so happy? You find yourself so happy that you even get scared. You know, it was instilled in us when we were growing up. But spirituality turns that around and convinces you that you are made to be happy. You should not worry by the things of the world because you know the battle, it is not yours, it is the Lord's, and the Lord never loses a battle.
Amen to that. Ausvitadeno, does it make you happy?
Yes, spirituality does make me happy. But you know, happiness for a lot of people is different. Like for someone, being happy means having your bank account overflow, you know, having so much material things. But at the end of the day, for people who are like that, who find that there is still a void and emptiness in them, and it cannot be filled by anything but by God. So when you are on a spiritual level, you have peace. Peace. When Paul describes peace, he says it is the revelation of God's favor and grace upon our lives. It is the kind of peace that it doesn't depend. It is the kind of joy that does not depend on your circumstances. For like how I don't really have so much joy because of this COVID-19, being locked down, being in the same space. No, but in that difficult situation, you always find peace. You always say, like in the book of James, chapter 1, verse this is 1 and 2, Paul says, to count it as joy when you meet trials and various kinds of trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness, which means that it produces peace, joy for you. When you are reached with some sort of unforeseen circumstances, you know, like, this is where I draw my strength from, because I know I am not alone, and whenever I get pulled onto it, I know what it means. My purpose is still underway in the gift life. So yes, spirituality does bring you happiness because it helps you see things in a very different light. That's
Oh yes. It says, as we end it up, ladies and gentlemen, we like to say that spirituality is an essence for everyone to complete themselves. For me, spirituality doesn't make me happy. It completes me. It's like a circle of life. The book of books says, I am the light of the world. The one who follows me will not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. As we light these candles as a sign of the coming light of Christ. Let's light our candles, ladies and gentlemen. We shall pass this light and we shall shine brighter than ever. Jehovah Modisa wa Israele, ibana batjha ba hao, o ba boloke, o ba sirele. Ditseleng tsohle tsa bona le ditorong tsohle tsa bona tse dintle, ba hauhele, o ba baballe, o ba boloke. ba sa ntshetse sefatlo sa go se se ganyang kgotso o nne o ba lwanele go ntsa tsotlhe tse o ba ditseng tse o ba sa ditseng ga ba kokotsa go wena monga bophelo ba arabele ga ba bitsa go wena Jehova utlwa dilo tsa bona le dithapelo tsa bona rona
Us on this night, let us sing our Lord's Prayer. Together, let us join in. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy
thy
kingdom
kingdom come thy will be done
come.
as it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Our
our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. Even through I walk through the darkest valley, will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Ithatelo. How's Ithatelo?
Lord, we thank you. Re bana ba hao Morena Modimo. Re bokane mona lebitsong la hao. We thank you for the spirituality, the connection we have with you. Morena Modimo, re a leboha because we know that you are our Father. You have created us in your image and in your likeness. And it is through you that we prosper. It is through you that we have everything we need. Father God, we bow before you today. We worship you, Modimo. Re tlisa tsohle tse re imelang ho wena. Re rolela mathata a rona ho wena. Re o bolella tsohle hobane o ya tshepahala. O Modimo ya re tshepisitseng hore o tla ba le rona ho fihlela dipeletsong tsa lefatshe. Morena Modimo, jwalo ka ha o ile wa ba le Maiseraele, wena ya ileng wa ba leru bosiago, wa ba mollo bosibu, wa ba sireletsa, wa tsamaya le bona. Ra leboha Morena Modimo hobane le rona o re etelletse pele. Ka kganya ya hao Jehova letsatsing la kajeno, ra bua hodima maphelo a rona. Youth of today, Morena Modimo, ra tseba hore hodima maphelo a rona, you have put a purpose. Re ka bona ka maphelo a rona have come to a hold, but wena Modimo ntse o ena le rona. We worship you, we praise your name. We worship you, we praise your name. For we know that with you, we have all we need. Thy kingdom come, Father. Thy kingdom come. Give us this day our daily bread. Father, Lord, give us this day our daily bread. Give us what we need. Come through for us. We trust in you. Our hope is in you. We hope. We don't have any other God but you. We bow down before you. We